Yo, what is up guys? It's Unstoppable here, and in today's video I'll be showing you guys the best possible attachments, the best possible long shots, everything that you need to get diamond camo on your assault rifles in Black Ops 4. If you guys appreciate all the work I put into this video is 12 minutes long. I know it's a long video, but I will have timestamps in the description. It took me a long time to edit, so if you guys appreciate the work, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button to keep updated, and press that bell to know when I upload. Let's get into this.
I be that young rapping dude, might just trap with you. Coming with the thunder, baby, might just clap your crew.
Okay guys, so let's start out with some prerequisites. I would highly suggest to practice your headshots. Look at what I'm doing here. I'm aiming at the target. That's what I would suggest starting out with. I know it sounds lame. You start out with that, you go to a private match and then do it with bots, you aim for their head, and then you go into a public match. I have too many matches going 5 and 30 just trying for headshots in the beginning for you guys. I wouldn't suggest for you guys to do that, okay? Even if you're a really good player. Alright, but let's start out with the attachments for this weapon. I would highly suggest to have an MBIR, a grip, and a grip Mark II because it's god tier with this weapon. This weapon has no kick. You just saw in the gameplay before that I was doing a dead line into the guy. Like, it was not missing at all. And also right here, you just saw something that I call a smear shot or drag shot. I would highly suggest going into hardcore, and you basically just shoot and pull the trigger and pull the reticle across their head. This is a very good suggestion for the weapon that I have out right now, which is the Rampart. You do not want to try to aim for headshots with this thing in core. I would highly suggest to play core and either A, tap the trigger or smear it. As you can see right here, it has a lot of kick. I literally fired it twice. Do you see how much kick that is? I would not suggest using this weapon in core. Alright, so the next weapon is AN, and this weapon is very, very good. I actually showed the attachments I use right here. I did not use a sight on this, and that's just because I don't believe it needs it. If you add rapid fire and the grip, and you play hardcore or even core, if you shoot them in the head, it will kill them really fast because of that rapid fire. And if you watch the gameplay right here, there's virtually no kick, which is very, very nice. I mean, yes, there is kick, but here's the thing. The kick is about as big as the head hitbox is. So you can literally just shoot them and you'll be fine. Now, again, this brings up the point of the smear shot. I know the Rampart kind of had a quick little gist and then I was done, but that's because the Maddox, I have the same suggestions for it as I do for the Rampart, but for the KN, the attachments you just saw are the attachments I suggest, and that's about all you have to do. You can play hardcore, you can play core, it doesn't matter. You can also do smearing up shots, which I'm showing you right now, which is where you aim down and then push up. This one's a little bit more risky because there's a good chance that you kill them if you're playing hardcore before you'll get the headshot, but it is a method that you could do if you wanted to. It's up to you though. I would suggest smearing the shots left to right because that's the easiest thing in my opinion, or just tapping the trigger to get the headshots. And in a second I will be continuing on to the next weapon, which is the Vapor. And the Vapor, honestly, it's a very, very, very good weapon in my opinion. It's interesting because it's a good weapon, but it has quite a bit of kick for being such a good weapon. And I think I show the attachments in just a second what I use. I personally use the ELO, the grip, not the grip, the ELO, the stock Mark II, and so on and so forth. That's just kind of what I use. And I basically just try to extend the range of the thing instead of trying to keep the kick down, which is my suggestion to you guys for this weapon. But it's kind of the same thing as the other assault rifles. You either want to if you're struggling with this, you either want to tap the trigger, go play hardcore and tap the trigger, or do the smear / drag shot onto the head. And trust me, if you get used to it, you will get headshots every single time you shoot. As you see right here, this thing has quite a bit of kick. You can't really take down the kick. I actually have on all the attachments that would reduce the kick, but unfortunately, it doesn't help that much. So what I would suggest is to just either A, tap the trigger, go play hardcore, or B, smear your shots. It's up to you. However, that might not work all the time, so I am giving you the attachments to see maybe this will work out for you. Maybe it won't, I don't know. But this is my suggestion to you for at least the attachments for headshots. Oh boy, guys, so the last assault rifle was the Maddox. Where do I even start with this? It is actually a really good weapon. I like the fire rate, I like the damage, it's really good, except for there's one problem. There is a crap load of kick. You see that right there? There is so much kick on this thing. And if you're a decent distance away, you will not be able to hit a headshot. That's almost guaranteed. So my suggestion for this is to basically tap the trigger like I said before. However, kind of do it in a burst manner like I'm about to do. Do you see what I'm doing? So basically what you want to do is you want to like hold the trigger for a split second, let go, hold the trigger for a split second, let go, and so on and so forth, and it will create like a burst. That is what you want to do. If you do that, it's way more accurate and you can aim for the head and get headshots. You can also do the drag slash, I'm just going to call it the drag because that's a much more nice way of saying it. You can use the drag method, which is just playing hardcore and just dragging it across the screen across their head, and you will get the headshots. Also, the operator mod is really good for this thing, so once you get the operator mod, I would highly suggest that. Okay guys, so I did go into specifics about headshots because, you know, there are certain attachments that make it easier. However, the rest of the video is going to be very universal for all the assault rifles. It doesn't really matter, you know, which one it is. And that's just kind of because I couldn't really tell you how to get the rest, you know, using certain attachments. So I'm just going to tell you the easiest way to get it universally. So the first thing is long shots, and actually if you go on Hacienda, go up the staircase and shoot from that desk to the door, for some reason it counts as a long shot. I honestly have no idea why. I'm just glad it does. They might patch this, I don't know, but it counts as a long shot, and so I would highly suggest that spot because it's really good. The next map I can highly suggest is a map called Gridlock, and it's in like the broken down city area. And basically it will show the gameplay in just a second, but basically you just spawn in, you go to the ladder over there, you just walk up, go to the window, and if you shoot people that are on the other side, they're on that little ledge, it will always count as a long shot, which is really good. And also it's the same vice versa, obviously, so if you're on the other side, you can shoot them and it will count as a long shot. But also I figured out another long shot area that's kind of a weird thing. If you're standing on top of the car and if somebody's standing on top of the truck, it will actually count as a long shot. I don't know why, and so I'd highly suggest that spot because it's really good, and it's really easy to get to because that's where the spawn is. That's where a couple of spawns are. And the last map is called Icebreaker. This is the ice map with the sunken ship and the buildings in the ice and stuff like that, and the submarine. Now the first spot is actually straight from the spawn. If you can shoot people from the spawn all the way to that box, that counts as a long shot for some reason, and it's the same vice versa, obviously. And if you walk into this building, you can actually get a long shot from this window all the way to the other side. That counts as a long shot. And if you just kind of tap the trigger or do the methods I said earlier, it will work perfectly. You will always get a long shot. And so these spots are really helpful in getting the long shots. These spots actually helped me out personally a ton, and so I hope they help you guys out. Okay guys, so the next camo challenge is to get 50 kills with no attachments with all the assault rifles. This is really more personal preference, but this is the class that I use. I use body armor, and then I max out on perks. I use scavenger, I use lightweight, I use cold blood, I use dead silence, and I use ghost. Those are my personal favorite perks for this specific challenge, but it's really personal preference. I can't suggest to go ahead and play hardcore team deathmatch or hardcore free-for-all so that you can, you know, use the weapon more efficiently, but that's the only real suggestion I can give you. And I can show you this class. If it works for you, that's good. If it doesn't, I'm sorry. It's really personal preference. And after that is the camo that requires 5 attachments, and oh boy, this one's tough. In my opinion, this one's more tough than the other one, just because you literally cannot have any perks, you can't have any equipment, you can't have any secondaries, you can't have anything. So it makes it very tough. These are the attachments I would suggest using, you know, some sort of grip, some sort of high caliber attachment, maybe fast mags, extended mags, a sight, and then maybe a long barrel or a stock. This is also what I would suggest for the Rampart. Obviously choose any 3 of those attachments and it should work out fine. And that's really all I can give you. It's really just personal preference. Like I said, I'm just giving you what I use. Hopefully it helps. If it doesn't, I'm sorry. Okay guys, so the next camo is the triple kills and double kills and the bloodthirsties. For the Bloodthirsties, I can suggest 2 locations. This first one is on Newtown, that's behind the Jeep. A lot of people know this location. As you can see, you can just scope people from across the map, literally, because the map is really small. And I would highly suggest this location. For the triple kills, I will show another Bloodthirsty location in just a second, but for the triple kills, I would highly suggest to go into hardcore free-for-all, hardcore team deathmatch, and either go to this spot or go to another camping spot that you know and just sit there and camp and just shoot anybody that comes through. And that is the most efficient way to get triple kills in Bloodthirsties. In just a second, I will show you another spot on firing range. These are the 2 most popular maps, so that's why I chose these 2 to showcase. The second spot, again, you guys might know this, but if anybody who doesn't, this little trailer right here is a really good spot. You can literally put a trip mine on the other side, and then you can scope people from across the map. Yet again, pretty small map. You can shoot people from all different angles, which makes it really easy to defend, and that's why I would highly suggest this spot. Like I said earlier, playing hardcore will help you. However, if you're not good at hardcore, I would suggest just to stick to core and just play it for a little while. You can try hardcore, it's up to you. But those are kind of my suggestions. This leads to the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Hopefully this helped you out. If it did, please leave a like, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys later.